Good morning, BU.
Israel has launched strikes in the Gaza Strip on Tuesday, marking the deadliest day since the ceasefire began.
In Massachusetts, Attorney General Andrea Campbell has filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Agriculture for halting funding for SNAP benefits.
The BU Police Department released its 2024 annual security report, showing an increase in thefts and aggravated assaults on campus.
And later today, the BU Physics Department will host its annual Halloween pumpkin drop at the Metcalf Science Center at noon.
Plus, hear from BU Society of Sci-Fi and Horror Club Vice President Austin Gerard about the most haunted spots on campus.
Live from Studio West in the College of Communication, Good Morning BU starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Good Morning BU. I'm Andrew DiBiasio.
And I'm Kara Mim. Happy Halloween. Here are today's top stories. Israel launched multiple strikes in the Gaza Strip Tuesday night, killing at least 100 people in what marks the deadliest day since the ceasefire began. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the strikes on Tuesday after Israel received a coffin from Hamas that did not contain a deceased hostage's body. Hamas denounced what it called the, quote, criminal bombardment by Israel, denying they attacked Israeli soldiers and reaffirmed its commitment to the truce. The U.S. was notified by Israel of the decision to carry out strikes in Gaza. Vice President J.D. Vance has reaffirmed that the ceasefire is still in hold, but has acknowledged that the agreement is delicate and said that, quote, doesn't mean that there aren't going to be little skirmishes here and there.
Hurricane Melissa has devastated Jamaica, leaving widespread destruction. Jamaicans living in the Boston area are reconnecting with affected family members and said to GBH News they're eager to help rebuild. At least 40 people in Jamaica and Haiti have died, and recovery efforts are just beginning as the storm heads toward Bermuda. The Jamaican Association of Massachusetts is collecting medical supplies and raising funds to restore power and provide food and water to families who have lost everything.
The U.S. military conducted a strike against a vessel in the Pacific Ocean on Wednesday, killing 4 people. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth posted on social media that the vessel was known by U.S. intelligence to be involved in narcotics smuggling. This is the 14th known U.S. military strike on an alleged drug smuggling vessel. With this number of strikes and deaths on the rise, Congress is beginning to raise suspicions that many members are now questioning the justification of these deaths. Senator Mark Warner publicly expressed his ethical concerns.
Every senator, Democrat, Republican, Independent, has a constitutional role to play when the United States uses military force. And to make that review, it's not optional.
The Trump administration said it has produced a classified legal opinion that justifies these lethal strikes, arguing that the president is allowed to authorize deadly force against cartels because they pose a threat to Americans. Still, many members of Congress claim the U.S. is defying the Due Process Clause.
Last summer, city officials announced the initiative to bring historically black colleges and universities to Boston. Politics correspondent Mira Donaldson spoke with community members about the value of this project.
Kaya Kaylees, a Boston native, attended Clark Atlanta University. Kaylees says it was family connections, not her school system, that introduced her to HBCUs.
My cousin and my church friend, they both went to HBCUs, and for that reason, I was just like, you know what, I'll apply.
Now a grad student at Suffolk University, Kaylee says having HBCU satellite campuses can help more students learn about their role in higher education.
Experience, and with the experience, it will allow students, staff, faculty to understand the importance of an HBCU and why they are necessary.
Dr. Christine Slaughter, a political science professor at Boston University and HBCU graduate, says that awareness is important for HBCUs, but satellite campuses might not be the answer.
Awareness is an important element of increasing support because you can't attend what you don't know, right? Best use of resources from the City of Boston is to provide resources for students to attend historically black colleges and universities, including scholarships, awareness sessions.
For Kaylees, her HBCU education was more than just learning. It was about personal development as well.
I was able to learn myself, network properly, critique myself, and just feel comfortable in everything that I did without feeling like, I had backlash coming or I had to act like someone else.
While opinions on HBCU satellite campuses are mixed, City Council discussions are ongoing on whether they will find a home here in Boston, to be decided by the end of the year. For BUTV, I'm Mira Donaldson.
Mira, stay with us after the break to hear about the latest lawsuit against Trump in Mayor Wu's State of the School address.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back. With Boston's mayoral election just around the corner, our live correspondent George Lehman is in Back Bay to give us the rundown on next week's race. George, what can you tell us?
Good morning, Andrew. That's right. We're here in Back Bay where Boston's mayoral election is happening next Tuesday, but only one candidate is on the ballot. Mayor Michelle Wu is running as the incumbent in this month's race after no other candidate gained enough votes in the preliminary election back in September to run next month. For the Boston City Council, though, 4 at-large city council seats are up for grabs. With 8 candidates running, the 4 at-large councilors in these seats now are seeking re-election alongside 4 other challengers. Of the incumbents is at-large councilor Rutzi Louis-June, who was elected unanimously as president of the Boston City Council in January last year. And unlike the city's 9 district councilors that receive votes only from their district, any resident in Boston can cast a ballot for an at-large councilor. Now, voters can drop off their ballots in one of these ballot drop boxes across the city or visit the polls next Tuesday, where they'll be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. For Good Morning BU, I'm George Lehman, and back to you in the studio, Andrew.
Thanks so much, George. Massachusetts Attorney General Andrea Joy Campbell filed a lawsuit against the United States Department of Agriculture along with 22 other attorneys general and 3 governors on Tuesday. The lawsuit claims the U.S. Department of Agriculture unlawfully halted funding for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP for short.
The federal government has made a deliberate choice to leave 42 million Americans, most of them children, elders, and people with disabilities, without any assistance to buy food.
Insufficient SNAP funds implemented on October 10th come after the government shutdown that started on October 1st. This means that over 1 million people will lose vital food benefits this week. But if the lawsuit is successful, SNAP benefits should resume before November 1st. And as these events were unfolding, BU Law had the privilege of hosting Attorney General Campbell herself for a discussion with students about the future of landscape of the legal field. Here's what our campus correspondent, Afia Asamoah, has to say.
On Tuesday evening, Massachusetts Attorney General Andrea Joy Campbell held a fireside chat at Boston University School of Law. The topic of the evening was defending the rule of law amid a changing democracy. After opening remarks, Campbell emphasized the importance of standing up to encroachments on human rights.
So everything I do in this work is not only professional in standing up as a lawyer and protecting our constitutional rights here in the state and nationally, and pushing back against an executive branch that would try to take the powers of Congress, but it's also deeply personal.
Northeastern law student Robert Fernandez highlighted the significance of the event for aspiring legal professionals.
We heard from the AG information about what she's doing to protect First Amendment rights, undocumented individuals, all sorts of things that I think are incredibly important. So felt it was important to show up and be there for that.
Later on, Campbell answered questions about recent litigations against the Trump administration, including the latest lawsuit against the suspension of SNAP benefits.
All of our lawsuits are designed, the nearly 40 that we've filed, not only to protect the rule of law of our Constitution, but also to protect our economy and most importantly to protect our residents. So that SNAP benefits lawsuit is to protect the little over 1 million people in Massachusetts that rely on these resources for food, including law school students, college students who are food insecure. So we're fighting for our people, we're fighting for the rule of law, and we're doing it unapologetically. while seeing the humanity in everyone.
The Attorney General spoke here tonight at Boston University School of Law, just a week after she announced her bid for re-election. Tonight, she talked about the future of democracy under the Trump administration after recent attacks on several marginalized communities. The Attorney General urged attendees to remain positive in these unprecedented times. Reporting for Good Morning BU, I'm Afia Asamoah.
Thanks, Afia. On Tuesday, Mayor Michelle Wu hosted her first ever State of the Schools address. Wu was joined by Boston Public Schools Superintendent Mary Skipper at the Josiah Quincy Upper School in Chinatown. Wu's biggest goal, she says, is to transform BPS into a top-performing district.
We are the oldest public school system in the nation, and together, it's time that we make it the best. Thank you for being the village that does this work with us.
Wu discussed the district's recent MCAS scores, which show students are still performing below pre-pandemic levels. Wu says progress is showing, with more students signing up for early college courses. The mayor also promised to stand up to federal cuts in education, expand before and after school programs, and ensure all students are learning at their grade level by the end of the year.
A staffer for Governor Healy was arrested on Tuesday on allegations of cocaine trafficking. Prosecutors say Lamar Cook was arrested after an investigation by state police and other agencies seized multiple parcels containing 21 kilograms of suspected cocaine and intercepted 8 kilograms in a delivery operation on Saturday. The governor has been informed of the arrest, and Cook has been terminated from his position. Cook had served since April 2023 as the governor's Western Massachusetts deputy director in Springfield. Cook's attorney told NBC 10 Boston they are still reviewing the case and hope to obtain a more reasonable bail.
A Lufthansa flight from Chicago to Frankfurt was diverted to Boston Logan International Airport on Saturday after a man stabbed 2 passengers. The passenger, identified as 28-year-old Praneeth Kumar Usarpalli, stabbed 2 17-year-old boys with a metal fork and slapped a woman and a crew member. After stabbing, he formed a gun with his fingers and put it in his mouth and pulled an imaginary trigger, according to people on the scene and state officials. The teens were reportedly injured, with one suffering a laceration on the back of his head. He was arrested and charged with assault with a dangerous weapon and intent to cause bodily harm. He's currently being held in custody pending trial. If convicted, he faces up to 10 years in prison and a fine of up to $250,000. He was on a student visa at the time, and it was expired. He's also facing potential deportation.
The MBTA has issued 85 warnings to fare evaders since the program started on September 8th. The offenders walked off with a verbal reprimand, but if any of them get caught again, they will be charged with a $50 fine. The third time someone does not pay, they will owe the MBTA $100. MBTA General Manager Phil Eng emphasized that the fares go towards making the trains safe and reliable for everyone. He also confirmed that the MBTA have made significant progress in the improvement of the T, but they need the revenue from fares to sustain it going forward. Violators who refuse to provide their ID or contact information to officials may be asked to leave the station. This initiative will continue until further notice, so look out for the fare engagement team next time you're at the station. Now, don't go far during this break, and if you do, don't forget to pay your fare. Come back to hear more about BU's annual security report and Halloween pumpkin drop.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
Welcome back. This week, the release of BU's annual security report showed an increase in thefts and assaults in 2024. The medical campus reported 17 robberies, nearly double the year before, while burglaries on the Charles River campus rose to 15. Lieutenant Daniel Healy of the BU Police Department said these statistics, while an increase, are actually more typical numbers. Reports of groping and residential fires both dropped. He says BU is a safe and welcoming environment, but it's always smart to stay alert and take basic precautions.
A recently published BU research paper found a decrease in the population of clownfish and anemones in the Red Sea. The paper, led by BU PhD candidate Morgan Bennett Smith, cites the breakdown of the symbiotic relationship between clownfish and anemones as the cause of this collapse. The authors say this breakdown is caused by rising ocean temperatures. Authors of the paper have called for surveys across the Red Sea and other oceans to determine the extent of the population damage.
The annual BU Pumpkin Drop will take place this year at the Metcalf Science Center on Halloween. The event is put on by the BU Physics Department with the goal of teaching gravitation, velocity, and energy transition. BU Physics students fill pumpkins with a variety of substances, including pudding and paint, to study how they affect their rate and trajectory. The event draws out many BU students to watch as pumpkins fall from the roof to the plaza below, creating a splash when it hits the ground. This will be the 33rd pumpkin drop in BU history, making it a long-lasting and beloved tradition among BU students. Be sure to stop by Metcalf Science Center to see an entertaining mess at noon today.
And if you're planning to take the T this weekend, you might want to check its availability. Let's hear the latest MBTA news from correspondent Sam Genzer.
It's tea time. If you're heading out for Halloween tonight and your costume isn't exactly walking friendly, you might want to call that Uber early because the Green Line's D branch is taking the night off. Per WBUR Today, this is the first of 3 big Green Line shutdowns this fall, as the T tries to install the overdue Green Line terrain protection system. But don't worry, your Halloween plans aren't ruined yet. Shuttle buses will replace trolleys between Riverside and Kenmore, hitting every stop except Beacons Field. They're free, and there'll even be express shuttles running from the Newton stop straight to Kenmore. Still, the T does warn you could see 30 to 45 extra minutes tackled onto your trip. But if you'd rather pedal past the chaos, the city's offering 5 free Blue Bike rides of up to 30 minutes during the shutdown. Now, if you thought this was just a one-night scare, think again, because on Election Day, November 4th, the T kicks off a 9-day suspension of all Green Line services north of Park Street. Back to Kara.
Like the D-line, we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us to see an interview with the goalie of the BU women's soccer team and an update on your home team, the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Welcome back. Last week, the Boston Celtics opened regular season play at TD Garden. Since their opening game, the Celtics currently have a losing record of 2-3. Our sports correspondent Hannah Connors went to TD Garden to break down the team's season so far and expectations ahead.
Boston basketball is back. The Celtics returned to TD Garden for their season opener last Wednesday against the Philadelphia 76ers. The C's will look far different from the 2024 title team, even last year's team. With Jason Tatum expected to miss the season after rupturing his Achilles and last year's playoffs, the team will look to a new core to fulfill the star forward's shoes. Professor Blakely, a sports journalism professor at Boston University who's covered the Celtics for more than a decade, believes Jaylen Brown is a strong candidate to fill Tatum's presence on the court.
He's their best player, and the way that they're looking to play in many ways is going to be built around his style of play.
In the first 3 games of the season, the Celtics have lost by a margin of less than 10 points. Despite the circumstances, Boston fans still have strong optimism for the team.
I think they're definitely going to make the playoffs, and they probably could go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Boston is highly known as Titletown, the place where the pro sports teams have brought home 13 different titles in the last 25 years.
The sports culture here is different than anything you'll find anywhere. You know, most cities have 4 seasons. Boston has 4 sports teams for every season.
The Celtics are NBA champions.
With the C's hoisting the city's most recent trophy, expectations are even higher for them. With 5 games under their belt, the Celtics will look to improve their record tonight with an away game against the 76ers and tomorrow with a home game against the Houston Rockets. Reporting for Good Morning BU, I'm Hannah Connors.
Thanks so much, Hannah. Our second sports correspondent, Anthony Gasowski, is in the studio today with us to recap an exciting women's soccer highlight set this week and get insight from one of their players. Over to you, Anthony.
Thanks, Andrew. For the 6th time in program history, the BU women's soccer team are Patriot League regular season champions. They defeated Colgate 1-0 in the season finale Wednesday night with a goal scored by senior Margie Porta. This marks their 7th straight win and 6th consecutive shutout as they secure the #1 seed and home field advantage for the Patriot League tournament. Their quest to defend last year's conference championship title will begin next Thursday. Now, as the team makes their postseason preparations, we're lucky to have a member from the team join us in studio this morning, freshman goalie Jill Humphreys. Jill, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first, congratulations on the team's achievements this past season. How does it feel, especially with you being a rookie on this season, to be able to see your team come out on top this season?
I came in here knowing that we were a winning team, so it was really good to be a part of that, and it felt really great.
Yeah, and what does it mean now that BU is actually hosting all the playoff tournaments in the Patriot League tournament? How do you feel about that, and what does it mean for you for BU to host?
We're really excited about it. We think it's a great reflection of our hard work that we put in this season, and we're ready to defend the field.
Yeah, and throughout the season, 6 straight shutouts for the team this past streak. What have you learned from your teammates, especially from the fellow goalies that stepped up?
My teammates are great leaders and very dependable. They make sure I come to practice giving my all and giving 100%, so that really reflects when we succeed in games like Colgate and then an upcoming tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And what can fans expect from your team this upcoming tournament?
We're really excited and we're a fighting team, so we're going to show that in these upcoming games.
Well, Jill, thank you once again for your time, and good luck to you and the rest of the team.
Thank you for having me.
In the meantime, we're now going to kick it back out to the desk.
Thanks, Anthony. And in the spirit of BU soccer, we're also going to kick it to a quick break before we talk all things horror at BU.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that the big homie needs help too. You can't just rebound from everything. I know you've been grinding.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. I wonder why we waited so long. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind. Let's see how far we can go.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Food can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Some of Boston's tiniest patients showed big Halloween spirit this weekend. Babies in Boston Medical Center's neonatal intensive care unit were dressed up in festive costumes, from tiny athletes and superheroes to classic pumpkins. The adorable tradition was part of Project Sweet Peas, a nonprofit organization that supports families with infants in the NICU. For many families, it's a small but heartwarming moment of joy in the Halloween spirit. And speaking of Halloween spirit, some say it lingers a little longer here at BU. Stories of haunted dorms and eerie encounters have long circulated among students, and we're here to take a closer look in this special Halloween interview. Take it away, Kara.
Andrew, you're completely right. It's spooky here at BU. And to talk about it, today I have Austin Gerard. He's from the BU Society of Sci-Fi and Horror. He's going to tell us a little bit about these eerie sightings. So welcome, Austin.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. Okay, first I wanted to start off and tell you that we were talking a little bit earlier, Miles Standish Hall. It's a dorm for people who don't know. And my two roommates, they actually 2 years ago lived in 818, which is said to be haunted by Babe Ruth. They said a calculator went missing, my friend's makeup. I mean, like, those are two things I think you can easily misplace, but they never found it again. And my roommates also said that they would wake up to nightmares of, like, they thought someone was in their room, like a man was in their room. That's scary, right? And you know the story, so can you tell us?
Yeah, that one's really interesting because it's such a unique, like, Boston story with Babe Ruth. Miles Standish used to be a hotel, and as the story goes, Babe Ruth loved staying in that room specifically, and he would kind of wander the halls and stuff and just hang out. He was a very sociable guy. And so people say that oftentimes they can hear him, they'll hear footsteps, they'll hear like his very kind of bombastic voice. And also losing things is a very common part of that. So yeah, I think that one's very interesting because it connects to the history of Boston.
Right, and I guess like if I'm going to be haunted by someone, I would like it to be someone like Babe Ruth. He seems like a nice guy. I don't personally know him, obviously, but... And then there's also other places on campus that are haunted or that I've heard of. And you said that you know another place. What's that?
Yeah, I know of the 515 Park Street is supposedly haunted. It was one of the victims of the Boston Strangler lived there. And a lot of people... There are stories of hearing kind of anguish cries and seeing, if you look up at the building, seeing like figures in windows that aren't actually there. So that's another one that I feel like a lot of Boston ghost stories connect to these like big moments of specifically Boston history because it's such a rich historical city.
Yeah, that's a little creepy. I mean, have you seen a ghost before on BU campus or like in just your lifetime?
I personally haven't seen any ghosts on campus or anything, but I do often... Over the summer, go to yard sales and estate sales. I like going and kind of looking to buy different things. And a lot of the times, especially at estate sales, you'll go into a room and you'll just get this kind of chill down your spine.
Okay.
You get this weird kind of tingly, like it's cold, but it's not actually cold. And it's not necessarily a ghost, but you get this kind of like...
feeling.
This energy
about
the
that would
room.
freak me out. Okay, and... I just have to ask, because you are in SOSH, that's what you guys call it for short. What are you guys doing for Halloween? I mean, theme of kind of the club is like something spooky, so.
Yeah, we actually have our second annual Halloween party tonight from 7 to 10.
Okay. Is everyone invited, members only?
Nope, everyone is welcome to come. There's going to be free pizza, free candy, a costume contest with prizes. It's going to be in BU Central. I encourage everyone to stop by. It's early enough that you can still stop by and then go to another party later.
Amazing.
So I encourage everyone at home to come and check it out.
Yeah, amazing. And also, we just wanted to add, because BU TV loves to shout out other shows, you have a new show as of this year. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I am executive producer of a new show called Top Story. It is a murder mystery neo-noir scripted series about a group of students here at BU investigating the murder of a college radio host.
Wait, perfect. Well, we're going to have to check it out. Thanks so much, Austin, and good luck tonight. Have fun at the party. Well, back to you, Andrew, on the desk.
Thanks so much, Kara, and congrats to Austin on that new show. That's going to do it this week at Good Morning BU. I'm Andrew DiBiasio. Stay safe and have a great Halloween weekend.